What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, companions from tabletop to video games, and today we're doing our first Digimon TCG meta breakdown for June. And the reason why we're doing so is because I was going to do a Digimon TCG first place meta deck, but the issue is that we actually reviewed all the decks that was on the list, and this is why I wanted to do the specific breakdown, is so you have an idea of what to expect for today's format, because today's format is probably the most calmest format of them all, and this is actually a really good opportunity, is that if you have any fun decks that you really want to try out and that you weren't so comfortable before, this is actually the format to do so. And when we're checking for meta decks, we're not just checking for like first place, we're also checking for consistency of topping, and it's not just from this website. We are actually looking at other different local events as well and considering their top cuts as well in this ranking. So we're going to always start from the lowest rank of consistency towards the highest. Now before we begin, we do have an announcement, which is we are starting a membership, but we're not too sure which membership to start with, so we are doing a survey on the community page. So if you want to vote for a YouTube membership, Patreon, or surprisingly what's winning is OnlyFans, definitely vote down. It's going to really help a lot, and also definitely like and subscribe because I really do appreciate it. So with that being said, let's get started. So we're going towards the least consistent, which is surprisingly Machine Dramon. Now Machine Dramon has been showing to be a hit and miss. It's either it gets first place or it doesn't. We don't really see it consistently just topping in general, so that's why this is actually at the bottom, is because of that specific reason. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a bad deck or anything. I'm just saying when we look at it, we're checking the consistency, and we're going to see it's a big issue in today's month that the meta, it's not in its favor so far. So look, we're going to go and look at the deck, do a quick skim, because we have done proper deck profiles of each of these decks. So that's why I'm going to just like scroll towards each one so you guys can see the deck. So if you want, just copy and paste it from this video, you definitely can. If you want more details of the deck, you could definitely check the deck profiles. So I definitely have a playlist full of them, so it could definitely help a lot. So very interesting deck. Not too crazy about the Izzy though, so not gonna lie about that. But yeah, our next one is actually Beelzemon. Now, surprisingly, even though Beelzemon isn't getting first place as it once used to, it's actually still topping quite consistently still. Like there was even one tournament that the top 4 was 3 Beelzemon, which is actually very impressive. Now, this I actually do enjoy, because even though Itmon is at 1, it didn't really impact it, and there's a lot of reasons why that this did not change much, and why Bandai actually chose to do this is a specific reason. If you want a detailed reason of it, definitely comment down below and I could do a whole video doing an explanation on it. Now we do have the new Itmon now, which honestly, if I had that, I would actually do a very different build if I was playing that. So yeah, more like a Itmon rush I would do. But yeah, so Beelzemon is still consistently up topping. Might not get first place all the time anymore, but it's still going to be in the top cut nevertheless. Now they are playing Darkness Wave, so that's the main key replacement for Itmons. But yeah, very decent. So one of that, surprisingly. Then our next one is Yellow Purple Security Control. Now I can tell you off the bat, it's probably 2 Avenged Kidmon, not Magnet Kidmon, so maybe that was a little mistake over there. But on all, this deck has been consistently topping, so we've been seeing this deck appear quite a bit, and even first place as well. So it's definitely a deck to watch out for. And this is actually a very interesting build, so I actually do like this build. So like he's playing Matt, which is like very bizarre for me, but at the same time, I'm like, I like it. I like the spice. It's really, really cool. He's not playing any TK, surprisingly, but yeah, very, very cool. I thought this was a very interesting deck completely. So, really cool deck. I would love to see this in action. Okay, next we have Bloom Lordmon, which is constantly getting first place. Like this deck is actually doing quite well in today's format, and is just getting first place constantly, or even like topping, but majority of the time it's usually first place. So this is actually a very good deck, and one that I would actually recommend like people to like try out, because it's really good. And also, just so you know how to play against it, this is definitely a deck that you want to know like in and out to play against. So also like Mon is at 1, and it's really not being an impact towards it, because even prior to that people were playing Mon at 1 time to time, so that did not change at all. So very good deck, very consistent, so probably one of the top consistent ones. Okay, so next we have the Yule Force Vmon or Vidramon. Never know how to call this, but yeah, this is definitely a very threatening deck, because this has been shown to be very consistent and topping, and like it just constantly get first place or higher close to the top cut every single time. So this is definitely a deck that is doing really well in today's format, and honestly there's no complaints of it at all. Like even like, and that's the thing about this deck, is that so far, like even the X antibody, like there hasn't been shown too much a solid build for it. So there's has been always been like different like builds with like some minus in a number. So I think that's the only like issue, is that it doesn't really have a consistent build. So if you are playing this deck, it might not work in your favor, and you might have to do some minor adjustment. But all you are definitely going top with a deck like this, because it is very, very good. Okay, and finally we have Black or Greymon. Now, let me tell you, so as much as I'm going higher in the rank, this doesn't mean that the decks are tier 0, okay? It just means that it's just the most consistent compared to the other decks. And Black War Greymon has the most consistency when it comes to getting first place. Compared to the rest, like, yes, the majority of the time that we see Black War Greymon appear, it has been first place. So this is why it's actually doing the best out of all of them when we look at the whole meta like format, is that this is definitely a deck that is consistently topping. Now I know some of you might be like, well, this deck loses to like Machine Drama and all that. It's like, yes, but that's not the factor. The factor is that we're looking at consistency in the meta as well, and that Black War Greymon has shown to be the most consistent deck to top with. So this build right off the bat, it's pretty much the most basic build. So majority of them all plays like the same build. So I think even my deck profile that I have done is pretty much close to the exact same build. And I know it's not the same person, so but pretty much the exact same build. So if you guys could see, I would definitely recommend to try this deck out. It's extremely good, and it's like, this is definitely a really good deck. And the thing is that it's a fair deck. So it's not a deck that will ever be hit. Okay, well, besides the Greymon, but besides that, it's a very fair deck. So definitely, I recommend trying it out. It's actually really fun as well, so you'll definitely enjoy it. And that's it for Digimon meta deck breakdowns. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.